Hi everyone, thank you for joining me again. And not surprisingly, we are still on the Christmas theme. And mainly this is because, of course, we've now had all of the regulations made clear to us for what we can do at Christmas. The government have come out and given us guidelines. Of course, we don't have to do anything if we don't want to, but we now have the guidelines. And I would imagine that in most of our households, there have been many, many discussions over what to do, how to do it, how we're going to please everybody. It's not easy. It can actually be very difficult for some families. The thing to remember is whatever decision is made, it's not about favoritism. It's not about being personal or horrible or trying to exclude anybody. It's taking into account other people's concerns. Now, just to give you an example, my family and I got together to discuss this, and I think that's the secret, is all discuss it quite openly. We went to the park on Saturday and we actually discussed what people's concerns were, what they wanted to do, what they felt had to be done at Christmas. But we were all prepared to make sacrifices, and I think the big word here is compromise. So just to give you an idea of what we're doing, on Christmas Eve, my son and his family are coming to me. So that's their household coming to mine, which will be lovely. Now, that is instead of coming on Boxing Day. And the reason for that is that they would see a lot of people over Christmas Day, and we didn't want Boxing Day to be they come from lots of different houses to me. So we're seeing them, or I'm seeing them, on Christmas Eve, which will be lovely. On Christmas Day itself, I've got my daughter and her family here for Christmas dinner. Now, I'm in my daughter's bubble, if you like, the support bubble. So I was seeing her anyway, but that is lovely. And then my son-in-law is going to see his family on Boxing Day. My daughter-in-law will see her family on Christmas Day itself. So we're all spread out. We're not everybody seeing everybody else, but we've also added in a little extra. Being traditionalists, as we tend to be, it was, oh, aren't we going to all see each other on Christmas Day, which is something we've all done, every year. So it was suggested that we meet at a park. Now, that's a possible. Maybe you want to do that with your family. But we considered, with the number of children involved, handing over presents, which they won't want to wait till they get home to open. Can you imagine? In a busy park, trying to tear open presents with the mud and the puddles and all the rest might not work too well. So it was decided that, not by myself, I hasten to add, that my garage was going to be used. It's a double garage with big doors that open up, so it's just about outside, as near to outdoors as we can get. And we're also putting up a gazebo just in case the weather's inclement. So that will be my son and his family, my daughter and her family, and myself will meet outdoors on Christmas morning about 10:30. We will exchange presents, and apparently the deal is that I provide warm drinks, hot chocolate or a cup of coffee, whatever, and nice hot croissants. I know maybe not the healthiest, but it is Christmas, and we thought that would be nice and simple. Believe it or not, my son let me know yesterday, he said, that's the thing I'm looking forward to most. And I said, why is that? And he said, well, it's kind of a new tradition. And also, just to let you know, we're all coming round next weekend to transform your garage into a grotto. So it's Nano's Grotto. Heaven knows what it's going to be. There'll be lights and decorations everywhere. Tasteful, it will not be. Fun, it will be loads of fun. So maybe you'll come up with your own suggestion, but there are ways of doing it. And as I said, compromise, listen to everybody's concerns, views, whatever. We can all get there if we want to. So try and come to some agreement with the family. Then you get to the day itself. Now, we all want this magical Christmas. We see all these Christmases in Hollywood films. They're just wonderful. And we can have a magical Christmas still with everybody. Maybe it's not quite as we would have planned, but it takes a lot of planning. We can't just turn up on the day and hope it all goes well. But, oh no, I'm not going to have overload of stress this year. We'll just turn up and see what happens. Somebody's got to make some plans. Somebody's got to organise food. Somebody's organised times, things like that. So why not enlist the help of everybody involved? And I do mean everybody. Don't leave it to the point where you make it into a one-man show. You do everything yourself. It's not fun for you. You then end up really feeling rather put out with everybody and fed up, and the atmosphere spreads and everyone's like, oh, don't talk to mum, she's in a bad mood. That's not how Christmas should be. The more people are involved, the more you will relax and the more everyone will enjoy it. So remember, if someone says to you, what can I bring? Have a list of things that are possible for them to bring. Have it ready. Oh, that would be wonderful. If you could bring do a homemade soup. Oh, your lentil soup is the best. Go for it. That way, that's one course sorted. No problem at all. Or if somebody says, what can I do? Have lists of jobs that you want done. Maybe someone will come early to help you set the table or something. Maybe it's a matter of someone saying, well, I'll sort out crackers. Or someone says, I'll organise the games. And this is the way to get children and or teenagers involved. Certainly, teenagers are great at doing quizzes. They go online and they sort it all out. They've got it printed out. It's all on their phones or whatever. And it really can be very successful. So get people involved. Don't be the only one that's doing it all. But remember, once you have delegated a job to somebody, it is their job. Do not go continually chivvying them along, checking up, trying to take over. It's their job. Leave them to it, and you can relax and enjoy it. So what about the meal itself? I would say keep it as simple as possible. In most cases, really, Christmas dinner is just a roast. But maybe discuss with everyone what would they like for their Christmas dinner. Perhaps you'll be surprised at some of the answers you get, and you might make some changes. It might not be just turkey this year that you have. But keep it fairly simple and try to eat at normal times. For some reason, on Christmas Day, everybody tries to eat at a time that isn't actually a meal time. It's not really lunchtime. It's not really dinner time. They throw it in somewhere in the middle of the afternoon. And particularly if you've got children, they're all confused. It also leads to overeating because you have your breakfast, then you're snacking, waiting for the meal. Or if you have it early, then snacking afterwards, there's more opportunity to eat the wrong things. So try and keep your meals at a normal time. Try and be flexible. So it could be that the turkey just isn't quite cooked. You couldn't possibly serve that up to anybody at the moment. It's going to take at least another half an hour. Have your plan B. Just have a few little nibbles that you've maybe got in the freezer. You can buy them in now. And they're the sort of things that in a hot oven, you can just pop them in. They're ready in 10 minutes. And I don't mean a feast. I just mean a few little nibbles that people can actually then have to keep them going right the way through to their Christmas dinner. At the end of the meal, of course, make sure that everyone's got a job as regards clearing everything up. It shouldn't be down to one person. A lot of people have dishwashers, which is great, but they don't stack themselves. This is where you can even get little ones involved. I find the little ones love setting a table. They also love to be real helpers. Could you carry this through to the dining room, or could you help to clear the table? If everybody lends a hand, it'll be done in no time, and then you can all relax. Now, when it comes to that point, is it worth having just a few rules? Things like, could you build in perhaps a rule that says no screens? Or it could be, you can have screens for the first hour, but none after that. Remember, this is Christmas Day. What's going to be that urgent? But if you're going to have a free screen zone, can you perhaps allow an hour at some point in the day where the teens can go off and just get on the phone and send messages to their friends or whatever? Also, if possible, try to schedule in a nap. Now, it doesn't have to be a nap. It's a break. It could be you say it's an hour or it's 2 hours. Remember, you may have people in your home that aren't normally there. They could be there for longer. Perhaps people have come to stay. And with all of the restrictions we've had with lockdown, we're not used to having people in our homes anymore. You may find it's quite a lot, and they might find it quite a lot to all be thrown in to one house, for this long time. It could be for hours on end. So try and build in this gap. And it could be some people go for a walk. Some people go, that's me, I'm closing my eyes, I'm having a nap. The teens might go off and call their friends or whatever. Basically, anybody can do anything they want. Parlour games, try to reintroduce them. I know some people throw their hands up in horror. Oh, hate parlour games. But it can be lovely. And it can involve the little ones, it can involve teenagers, it can involve granny, whoever happens to be there. We've been advised not to play board games, and that's fair enough because it does involve lots of people touching lots of things. We tend to ignore the boards. Charades are great. I know you might think that they're awful, but they really can be good fun. And so long as everybody takes it in good part, don't make it too difficult. Really try to just sit back and enjoy it. Pictionary is great. Ignore the board part of it. All we do is have people coming up in turn. They can pick a card and you can have the cards spread out so nobody's touching any of the other cards. And then they can have their own pen, have a packet of pens, different colours for each person. So they're only touching the one pen and they need to draw whatever it is. If there's a timer, then you as the host could perhaps be the one who's on the timer. Or it could be you don't have any timer at all. Entirely up to you, but there are ways round it. And I don't mean play games all day, but now and again, it really is fun to have a game. And again, this could be where you get your teens to come in with their quiz that they've created. Absolutely wonderful. Now, at the moment, you're thinking, well, that's all very well, but this is for a crowd. What about there's only my husband and I we're going to be on our own, or my sister and I, just two people sitting there on Christmas Day? That to some people would be absolute heaven. Relaxed, do what you like, no stress, have a very adult, lovely Christmas. You can have nice phone calls with people. You can maybe see them at the park in the morning, but have a Christmas that you want. And it might be worth recognizing this as an opportunity to ask your husband, your partner, your sister, whoever it is that's sharing your Christmas day with you, what's your favourite thing about Christmas? What would you really love to do? You might get surprise answers, and it would be lovely to include maybe even a couple of those things in your Christmas. It could be the meal itself. You find out that really neither of you like turkey, but you do it every year. Well, what will we have? It could be that you say, well, I'd love salmon. Or, it could be that the other person says, what about having beef Wellington or something like that? If you can't come to an absolute decision on it, we'll go for main course. Other one chooses the starter or chooses a dessert. It could be a Christmas tradition that you never knew about, that your husband had in his family. This may be a time to create some wonderful new traditions. Old traditions are great, but we can't really be too, if you like, strident about keeping them. No, that's our tradition. We always do this on Christmas Day. Trying to change it can actually include other people, and it can make it much more enjoyable. And if you're really brave, you could say to your husband, partner, or whoever's sharing it with you, you choose how we have Christmas completely. Let's do it all your way. You might be thinking this could be awful, but it might be so refreshing and you might really, really enjoy it. And then, of course, there are the people who are spending Christmas on their own. If that's your choice and you want to be on your own, perhaps for safety reasons, you don't feel happy with anybody in your home or you don't feel happy going out, then that's fine, but make the most of it. Regard it as not, oh, I'm stuck here on my own. Think of all the wonderful things that you can do on that day. Again, as I said, we still have Zooms. Perhaps go and meet a friend for a walk in the park. You can be socially distanced, and it could be a great way. Again, it could be the start of a new tradition on Christmas morning that you meet people for a walk. We certainly used to do it. We used to live in Dundonald, down in Ayrshire, and every Christmas morning we'd get the turkey on and everybody would go down to Troon for a walk. Absolutely fantastic. So you can do that and make sure that you've booked perhaps a Zoom call or something in for the afternoon, then sit back and enjoy what you want. Indulge yourself. Have a really special breakfast. Have the most fantastic meal. I don't mean just buy an M&S dinner that you microwave. Go to an effort. Really have something nice. Buy yourself a really nice bottle of wine, and you can get these lovely small bottles now of either wine or even bubbly. So you don't have to be overfaced. Well, I think most people eventually could probably manage a bottle if they took time and drank it over the day. You don't have to be on your own. And if it's something that you think, oh, I'd love to have somebody here. Do you know somebody? Do you know a friend that maybe is spending Christmas on their own? Invite them over. And if you're not happy with them coming for a meal, perhaps invite them for a Christmas drink, either in the morning or perhaps later in the afternoon, just to drink. It's no great hassle and they may be delighted. Perhaps it's just Christmas evening. Would you like to come round for a couple of hours? Christmas night, maybe 7 till 9. If you specify a time, then at least everybody knows where they stand. The other thing is involve your neighbours. I know certainly when we had lockdown originally, my neighbours and I would have what we called our curbside coffees. And we would all go out with our mug of coffee and we would stand at our gates and have a good old chat. Sit on the wall and chat. Now, I know it's cold, but if you take out a lovely big warm mug of coffee, you're well wrapped up, it need only be for maybe 20 minutes. And it could be lovely just to chat, say happy Christmas and feel part of the neighbourhood. And on that point, I don't know whether you've all heard, but there is this movement now, and it's called, let me see if I can get this right, Santa's Worldwide Christmas Eve Jingle. And apparently what it involves is everybody coming out at 6 p.m. on Christmas Eve and ringing bells for 2 minutes. How magical is that? I think it could be wonderful if children get involved. I know in our road, I'm going to suggest it, and we've got children living in the road. I think they'll find that absolutely wonderful. It adds to the magic of Christmas. So no matter how you spend Christmas, remember, hold on to that magic. If you feel you've lost it, you create it. Remember, it's a matter of when you get up in the morning, you can be happy or you can be sad. You can sit there thinking, oh, Christmas Day and here I am on my own, or phone someone. They might be delighted to hear from you. Get involved with somebody, but do something that pleases you. Get involved in that Christmas magic and we'll all have a fantastic time. Take care. See you soon. Bye-bye.